I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes the second-year man, Lamar Jackson, and his Baltimore Ravens offense. They sit at 2-2 through 4 weeks of the season after that loss at home against Cleveland last week, Charles. And Lamar threw 2 picks in that game, his first interceptions in his last 8 outings.
Yeah, he took care of the ball quite well, but I do believe we're seeing a little bit of a formula when you play Baltimore. You need to play from the front against them. Force them into a position where they're trying to play catch-up, throw the ball a little bit more, because otherwise they'll do damage against you. Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards running the football. Lamar Jackson off of that, also able to run the ball. But when the ball's in the air a lot more, you feel like your chances are better against Baltimore, even though he threw for 247 and 3 touchdowns in addition to the 2 interceptions.
A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, Jackson rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson, options out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Philadelphia taking the field here again offensively, and I want to get back to talking about their win at Green Bay because, look, hyperbolic statements can be prevalent especially with me. But we talked last week about the difference between them going 1-3 and getting to 2-2. Them getting to 2-2 with that win at Green Bay was just huge.
And how they got to 2-2, because it looked like that game was going to get away from them. Thursday night on the road. Typically, the road teams struggle in those, but finding a way to win using their offense and their defense with some big stands, that was huge. Now they're going to use those extra few days to continue to heal up, try and get Deshaun Jackson back. They're home for the Jets next week, and then they hit the road for 3 big ones. At Minnesota, at Dallas, at Buffalo. All have tough defenses. A lot for them to get prepared for.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go, go, go.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
120!
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Go, go.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Here's Jackson. sliding out of the pocket. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They run from the pistol with Ingram, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hey, tight down. There you go.
On 2nd down, Ingram slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is incomplete. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. This one complete to Ingram. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the third time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses. And excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can't he?
Yeah, he can indeed. And pretty well executed there. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The CD as Baltimore takes the field again here. I'm looking down at the ranks offensively in the NFL, and Baltimore's first in rushing. They're sixth in passing. That's kind of a surprise.
It is, and it's a pleasant surprise for Baltimore because first in rushing, we're not surprised at all. That's their philosophy. That's what they want to do. Picking up Mark Ingram in the offseason helps with that. Gus Edwards continues to run the ball well. And, of course, we know Lamar Jackson can run you out of the park. But sixth in passing, many people wondered, could Lamar Jackson throw the ball accurately, consistently at the NFL level? He's answering that question in a big way. And, by the way, they're first overall in total offense in the NFL. Pretty good for the Baltimore Ravens, despite the fact they've lost their last two.
Give them a couple on the scramble. It's second down. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Barnett, his 2nd sack of the night. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Go. Waiting. 48 right now. Let's go. Oh, here we go.
It's caught by Jackson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On second down, it's Howard, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Coming to you, coming to you.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Go!
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, when you've got a kicker out there who's already missed twice, he definitely would rather have about a 30-yarder rather than one from a neighboring county.
Can we agree to just give him a pass on that one? It would have definitely been a way to turn his mood around, but instead, it's a 3rd miss and another scoreless possession.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now it's Jackson. His throw incomplete. Tried to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd and short.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, pick your game up.
From the gun, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Jackson now. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Jackson from the shotgun. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On first down, it's Howard. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running from the gun with Howard. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Here's Wentz to throw, and that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Cyrus Jones back to return for the Ravens. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Draw play. Ingram now. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
To throw is Jackson, rolling to his right. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more. more often in the future. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Draw play. Ingram now. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Ravens now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Pickup, they get 8, but it's 3rd down now. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Shotgun now for Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
And an Eagles 1st down.
Go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running with Howard. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st down, Eagles.
Here we go. Waiting. Watch the run.
They'll run on 1st down. Howard. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go again.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. That's caught by Jackson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go. 180. Watch the slip.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Check. Here we go. Pack that. 120. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 4 yards out, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he knocks it through. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Come on, fella.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Jackson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, CD, we are a quarter way through the season already. I'm curious, if you look at each conference, which division race is most intriguing to you right now?
Well, can we start in the NFC?
You do whatever you want.
Because if so, let's go to the North. Because we thought it would be a tough division coming into the season because I felt like you could make a case for everyone but Detroit when the season began. Now we're looking at Minnesota. They seem a little uncertain at 2-2. Chicago just lost their quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, for an indefinite amount of time, but that defense is playing awfully well. And Green Bay has Aaron Rodgers. So I think that division now is brutal, and then you've got to throw in Detroit. It's not the same old Lions. Matthew Stafford, he plays with heart, played hurt, and I think that they're improving as time goes on.
How about the AFC?
Well, I think the AFC South. Everyone's 2-2. We thought it would be a tough division. We thought it would be intriguing. And Gardner Minshew's mustache really adds a little extra intrigue to the whole thing. And we saw Marcus Mariota get off the deck and play well last week, too. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, but it'll be second down. Well, Charles, taking a step back for a second, let's look at the undefeated teams still left in the NFL. We got New England, KC, they're 4-0, and then San Fran, they were open last week. They didn't have a game, so they're still at 3-0. We only have 3 teams left.
And they had the easiest path, not just because they had the open week, but how about New England getting challenged by Buffalo? Yes, they were on the road, but you don't often think of Buffalo as a team to really press New England. They did. And Kansas City, they got a heck of a test in Detroit. Had to score with 20 seconds left on the clock to win that game. So both of them remained undefeated, but not without struggles.
That's the interesting thing about Buffalo. I think we learn more about them in their one loss this year than we have in their 3 victories.
I think we would say the same thing about Kansas City because of how they got pressed, but we'd also say the same thing about Detroit, how they played Kansas City in that game.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Wentz now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. And it's caught. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go. Here we go. 180. Get in the right room. Get in the right room. Come.
From midfield, here's Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. The Sanders has got it complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Come get some. Come on, come get some.
Now, Wentz again. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. This is Ingram, and he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The throw there finding its way to Boyle, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, Ingram. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Here we go. 15 on it. 15 on it. 54. Switch.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Well, we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. Wentz going to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Working from the gun. Wentz throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Partner, earlier we were talking about the undefeated teams in the league. Let's switch that and look at the teams at the bottom, like Miami, Washington, Denver, etc. Who is there hope for that is off to a really rough start?
And if we're talking about hope, are we talking about this season or are we talking about the future?
Well, let's do in the future.
Okay, in the future, well, Miami's accumulating draft picks at an incredible rate. But they'll have to hit on all of them and make great decisions in free agency. If so, then they definitely have hope for the future. If you're Washington, well, you drafted Dwayne Haskins this past year. Can you build around a rookie quarterback, a young guy, and make this thing work? If you're Denver, you've got to get some things figured out because normally their defense carries them. Arizona, well, of course, Kyler Murray's there in a new system. Will it take root? Will it take hold? Atlanta is the biggest surprise to me in the early going at 1-3. I don't think any of us saw this coming, but they can still climb back into the race if they can get on a little bit of a run.
So Atlanta would be a team, if we're talking this season, you think still might have some hope?
I still believe that in the NFC South, a tough division, but because of familiarity breeding contempt, they won't be as concerned about playing those teams. They know them, they're familiar, and they have Matty Ice, Matt Ryan at quarterback. They can get hot in a hurry.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Ingram. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Ingram. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Right there. 54, Mike. Watch the screen. Pass. Set. Cut.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down. It's Ingram, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Let's go, baby.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down now, it's Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Ingram. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
On the set. Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Exit, exit.
On second down, it's Ingram. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line. Jackson now, just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
To throw again on second down. Jackson, he's going to find his tight end Boyle. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the run, watch the run.
To throw is Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead. There to make the grab, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They'll run on first down. It's Howard. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go with Howard again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Shotgun now for Wentz. He'll hit Jackson, complete. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
This is Howard on 2nd down. Howard has the first down and then some. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Howard. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. From the 40 now on second down. Wentz. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On the draw, here's Sanders. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown. Look, they got themselves in the field goal range. Gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again? Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. And now here come the Ravens. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position. I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Right. 53 is the mark. Here we go.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Got a man. It's Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much. And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they? Yeah, when we talked about him, they did. Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Jackson now. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal. And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield,
You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They run with Howard, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Wentz's throw into the hands of Aguilar. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go counter with Howard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Waiting.
Into the red zone, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 yards there, 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Let's see what you got.
They'll run with Sanders, and that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Snead's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Buddy up. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Let's go, let's go. Check 26, check 26.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
On first down, they run with Howard. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That's caught by Jackson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's 3rd and 4.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jackson from the shotgun. And now he'll tuck it and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Jackson, options out left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Well, that last run for a 1st down, it really should be the last straw for the defense. I don't care how many they've had in the box. They need to add more people.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. Brought in left side by Snead. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. It's caught by Roberts. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Rolling to his left. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. They'll look to throw. He's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing now is Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. That's not exactly what you want there, especially given the time on the clock. But now, you've got to kick the field goal, right?
You do, and actually, you show a little faith in your defense when you do that because you kick the field goal here. You're telling them, we believe you'll get the ball back for us for one more shot.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Tucker's kick is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got a 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Here we go. 180.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Right there. Baby.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Now Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. On 1st down, Howard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to win. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And this time the kick is good. He had a miserable game, all things considered, but they stuck with him, and it pays off. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.